so much again. I really appreciate that.
What did I do?
No, I appreciate you all helping
Oh,
out
yeah.
and all of
You're
this.
welcome.
That's what
Yeah.
I appreciate.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, let's have a... Right, so table looks fairly open. I think this 2 ball here in the bottom right corner has a pocket. It's just tricky to not only make that 1 ball, but also get back to here. Gonna have a decent look at the 2. Because of the path that the cue ball traveled. So tricky elevated shot at the 1. I think Kendra's got a straight-in shot here for the bottom right corner here on the 1 ball. I think following it up towards the center of the pocket will give her, rather the center of the table, will give her a pretty decent shot at the 2. Correction, that is the 8-ball, not the 2-ball. The 2-ball's already down, so even after she makes this, I was curious to see why she opted to, with the 3-ball. Excuse me, with the 3-ball being plus kiwi balls here, so it's a little challenging to see what the ball colors are, so my fault. Very good safety here, though, to block the 3-ball. Right, so she's trying to just see here if she makes it, if there's a chance to kind of break this 5-7 cluster out. So she got back to it to at least see it. I just missed the 4-ball. So Kendra's got to decide here if she's going to not only make it, but try to maybe spin the ball a little bit to have it go towards the left, to go towards it, to go at it. But you'll also need a good amount of speed, which will shorten the angle once it bounces off. So let's see if she gets back to either break it out or at least see it. Right, so good she got back. You know, the safety here is just, you know, she could kind of thin the 5, put a little inside spin and hit that long rail to send the cue ball to the opposite side of the table. That is pretty challenging. She may want to go the other way. The 5 ball will straighten out, hit that long rail, and possibly roll back behind the 7. The 7 can create a blocker. The cue ball can be sent towards the right to bounce off and hopefully rest at the short rail. But again, controlling kind of that 5-7 cluster as well as the speed of the cue ball can be challenging. So she saw something. Was really fortunate to not leave an open shot. You know, Gigi is pretty offensive, so she may be going for a back bank here, trying to send the cue ball down just like that to get to the 6. You know, I don't fault her for doing that. It was a very good shot. I think I would have preferred shooting that with a low ball to pull the cue ball out to have it avoid the 7 and drop back to hopefully get in that bottom left corner window. But she must have been more comfortable shooting it that way. So it's too bad she clipped the 6 like she needed to, but it just caught the outer edge of that pocket. So instead of the cue ball being sent down to the opposite side of the table, it stayed down here where the 6 is right now. Right, she went for the bank, which wasn't a bad option. She had a decent shot at the 7, which, you know, pretty good attempt there. I think Gigi's got a straight-in shot in the corner. Got to stay really, you know, focused and stay down on the shot. Good shot. So now just seems pretty straight, so I think a 3 to 5 inch drawback to make sure she doesn't hook herself behind the 9 to take an easier shot on the 8. She can play this just with like a stop shot. It would be a little bit more difficult back cut, but I personally, with that room on the cue ball there to cue it low enough. Okay, so she had enough angle to slowly drift it to even get it closer than she needs to. Just a really easy 1 rail after she pockets the 8. Just like that. Watch that speed. She landed right in the middle. You know, it had to either be a slow one to take that 9 ball in the lower left corner, or a little bit harder to take it in the lower right. So, feel like maybe she shot that a little quick and ended up right in the middle, right in the middle of both pockets. So now she's got to grab the bridge and reach a little bit. Okay, good shot on the bridge. Gigi takes the first game. She's now got 1 racing to 7, and Kendra has 0 racing to 6. Again, this is an alternate break format, so even though Gigi won that first game, she did take the opening match break. So whenever the score sums up to an odd number, which is 0 and 1 equal 1, it will be Kendra's break. All right. Not bad of a break. I think we passed the one ball back and forth here. So Kendra's back up. Looks like she could be looking at the bank, which isn't bad because the 2 is close to that side pocket. So if she goes for the bank in the side, the cue ball will stay up on that side of the table. She has a good chance if she wants to be offensive, but some defense. Maybe back cutting that 1 to that top short rail, sending the cue ball in a zigzag pattern, possibly putting it behind that 3-ball cluster. Yeah, see, so she went for the bank. Good shot. And just as we had been talking about, it did travel that way. I think she wanted to take it in the side, but now she's being forced to shoot it in the corner. But not bad of a shot. She can, it will slide over past the 5 so she can take the same corner. All right, everybody. So Emmeline's actually here. She's going to relieve me for a little bit. So she'll be joining you for this match. So I'll be back later. Thanks.
Hello. Hey, this is Emmeline. In case you're wondering, Elle and I are twins, so it may sound like the exact same person is talking right now. So, thanks for being here. So, for those of you just joining us, we are a handicap tour. So, Gigi is racing to 7, and Kendra is racing to 6. The score is 1 Gigi, Kendra 0. So feel free to ask any questions and I'll try to answer them. We're at Draw Billiards in Berkeley, California. The owner is Jason Kung. Jason was an owner at the Broken Rack. He's been around pool for, I think he said 15 plus years. So the setup is beautiful in here. There's tons of room around each table, lots of seating and space for viewers. So it's nice in here. This is my first time here. I'm not just saying it's nice because he's my friend, but you know, this is it's a nice place, so. I think Kendra's just gonna want to stop the cue ball right there, and she's gonna got a little roll there, but these pockets are pretty forgiving, especially if you are not popping at it. You're not jabbing. If you slow roll it, the pockets are really forgiving. Her angle may be a little bit flatter than she wanted to be, but she's, yeah, so she opted to stay on that side of the 8. So, and this is touchy because the cut is so thin. Just gotta. So Gigi's probably going to put some low left on it, but she's got to avoid that side pocket. That works too. And now she's jacked up. So she doesn't want to get below the 8. Well, then she can just come up and down, just hit the top rail and come back for the 9. But that was a good shot. She held the cue ball pretty well. She could play this 2 ways. If she feels comfortable shooting in the top right corner, she could do that. Or she could, I would opt to slice it in the side because you have that natural position for the 9. But she's jacking up. Because that's the shot she was comfortable with, so. I believe we had 29 players this weekend. A lot of our regulars, I think, had other obligations. But our schedule for next year should be available in the next month or 2. And a bunch of our women are going to play in the regional tour championships at, I believe it's Bull Shooters in Arizona. Yeah, I think we have like 10 or 11 women going. 64 player field. That's always a fun event. Well, I see that they're not using the magic rack, so some people like using the regular triangle because of that. So it is alternating break, which is why even though Gigi won that last game, Kendra's gonna break now. I think this is Kendra's highest finish since she started playing on our tour. I think she said she's been playing for 4 or 5 years. So Alice, Lou, just finished playing me for the hot seat, and she's guaranteed 3rd, which is her highest finish as well. So Lots of progress, a lot of things to celebrate this stop. It's pretty cool. Well, the 1 and the 9 are so close together. I don't see why she wouldn't try to do something with that 9 ball. There's definitely the 9's gonna go a little crazy here, so we'll see what happens. I mean, I think she's just looking at it like she's gonna shoot it, but I feel like you may as well go for the 9 because the 2's all the way down here. You're almost not gonna get a shot on the 2 anyway, so. It was close. So I think she can see the edge of it. I think that 4 goes past the 9 if Kendra wanted to try to run this out. The critical shot is the 5 to the 6 because you got that 8 ball right there. I was going to say, I feel like she needs a little more angle to get on that 3 ball. Unless she's going to bounce off the rail. Like I said, these pockets are pretty forgiving. Because she actually hit the rail first and it went in, so that's why she's still able to shoot right now. She's just going to get in between the 7 and the 5, but gotta hit this slow. Yep. So I think she was too worried about the shape and forgot to focus on making that ball. There's a lot of things to think about in pool. So I don't know if, yep, Kendra just told her she's on 2. So I wasn't sure if she remembered that 2 ball foul, but she did. She's got to avoid this 6 ball, so I think her angle's wide enough to avoid it. Yep, oh. She's okay. But now the 6 is in a really good spot, so she has to get on the 5 ball. What I would want to do is put low outside on it, but it's such a steep angle, it's really hard to control the cue ball. Yep. Well, she got a roll there. So I'm sitting behind this shot right now, and I don't see I don't know if she has a window if she hits it straight on. It's kind of touchy. Like, she has to, almost has to spin around the 6 ball just to catch the edge of the 4 ball. Because if she tries, see the kick, that 3 ball, or the 7, sorry. She's, okay, so she's, okay. If you're just tuning in, this is Emmeline. I know I sound just like Eleanor, or, you know, but if you have any questions, please feel free to type them. I'll try to answer them. But thanks for being here. Yeah, that 7 made it tricky because she had to shorten that angle a little bit. Oh, and that's 3. So, I mean, Kendra got a little help in that rack, but that's part of pool. So I know she didn't plan for that 4 ball, but there were ways to hit it. I almost would have preferred hitting it straight on because she could have clipped the edge of the 4, and that kick was tough. Anyway, this table looks pretty open because that 3-4 is fine. You know, just make sure you don't, if you hit the 3-4, you have a shot on the 3 after. Yep. So she punched at that a little, and I feel like that's why it jarred. Yeah, these pockets don't like that kind of hit. She undercut it a little bit too, so. So if you watch these two players, their pace is very different. Okay. It's really rare for Gigi to take very long with her shots. Once she knows what she wants to do, she just gets down and shoots. Kendra is a little more methodical. She's probably just going to roll up to shoot the 4 in that top right corner. That's the simplest shot. This is another roll-up shot. You don't want to have to worry about getting too fancy because the 6 is right there. She's got to leave herself an angle. Doesn't want to get too, well, because of where the 6 is positioned, you can create an angle from almost anywhere. She's fine. She's deciding which pocket she wants to shoot the 7 ball into. It's 5-1. She looks really comfortable up there. So I know that Kendra's waiting for a chance to really get in the game.
Who won the lag? So think about what the score should be if you broke.
I don't think she was comfortable with that shot because you couldn't exactly stop it. There was a little bit of angle. Easy to hook herself behind the 7 perhaps. But but again, she was focusing on her shape and did not pocket the ball. And Gigi did that jab that I was talking about. So Kendra has an opportunity here. And I think they're both relying on the big pockets, so they're not aiming as their targets are not as tight as they should be. So they've both got to bear down a little bit. And it's hard because they're so deep in the tournament. You know, this is for 4th place, and they're tired. You know, and that's the challenge of pool. As you get farther into the tournament, you want to keep doing well, and you just keep playing people who are better. You just get better and better, and you've really got to, you know, try to keep your focus. The stamina is the thing you've got to train yourself to get better at. So, and I know Kendra, she's not counting herself out, but it is going to be a challenge because Gigi's running racks and stuff. So, you know, she looks like she hasn't counted herself out yet, which is good. I mean, I've seen people come back tons of times. So it ain't over till the last 9-ball sinks. So just a little outside. Play the 6 in the same pocket. I mean, it goes in the other pocket too, but she wants to play it in the side. Her shape's actually pretty good. So, well, from where I'm sitting, the angle's actually steeper than what you see on the screen. Just gonna have to cut that, but like I said, the pockets are pretty forgiving. This is definitely a makeable shot, and then she has to decide if she wants to shoot the 7 in the same pocket or shoot it in the corner, the top left corner. I like shooting it in the same pocket just because of where the cue ball's positioned. She undercut it. She did get a roll. I took a better look, and I think it's actually a shot. I think she can see just enough of it. Yep. I don't think she decided where she wanted to be with that because that shot was so touchy. A lot of people would just want to get that out of the way, but I don't think she really had a plan. I almost would have just stopped it. So now I think she's going to roll this 7. Oh, I think she's back cutting it. Oh no. Combo maybe? She left her safe. The simplest safety is just to roll into the 7, leave it the top left, the top side rail. Did that make sense? No, it didn't. Leave it on the top left rail, like the middle diamond. Put the cue ball on the opposite rail. It's all speed. These tables look like they're not going to roll that fast, but they're fast. Oh, she played it the other way. See, I don't like that way because you can leave a shot like that. I mean, the other shot would have been hit it to the left where the cue ball is right now, but then hit it with enough speed to come around and let the cue ball rest at this bottom rail. She left a shot, so. Just roll up for the 9 ball. Better to underhit this than overhit it. That was such a touchy shot. It's one of those where you just have to focus on making it. And I know Gigi's stroke. She would have preferred to fire at it, and it's hard to hold back a little bit when you're so used to, stroking everything. So, but those shots are really where you learn about your stroke and your aim, and where the inconsistencies are when you can't. That shot was pretty straight in. It was a touchy shot. Slow it down a little bit, but that you just learn from it. Those are the shots where I feel like my wrist, if it's twisting or anything, like those are the shots where you'll see it more than anything. Put some chalk. She got a little lucky there just because of a miscue, but it still worked out for her. And I'm sure she's very thankful, and she's going to make this 9 ball now. No need to fire at this. There's no scratch or anything. You just want to make the ball. So one of the games weren't marked, and that's between them. I'm not intervening. They were discussing it for a while, and on the board it says 4-2. So it's 4-2 Gigi. Gigi's breaking. So in situations like this where, see, they're discussing now because Gigi broke again. So they're trying, they're still discussing because they figured out that the brakes were off. So I'm just reporting it based on what the board says. So they're keeping it at 4-2. For those of you just joining us, this is for 4th place. So we're down to our last 4. This is Emmeline Collado. My sister is Eleanor. And if you're wondering why we sound exactly alike, it's because we're twins. So Elle's usually the one covering this, but I'm just giving her a little break so she can have something to eat. So Alice, Lou, and I just played for the hot seat, and it went hill. I got down to the last 9 ball, and we both shot the 9 like 3 times each, and she tried to do a thin cut on the 9 and scratched. So I barely got out of that one. So Alice is waiting for the winner of this match. So for shape, I actually like shooting the 1 ball in this bottom left corner and drawing it. I mean, you could also shoot it in the bottom right, put some follow, and get some spin on it, but again, it's preference. See, I don't like that shot because there's too many balls to get in the way, just, you know, like that. So I would have avoided that cluster. Now she's forced to kick at it. She did not leave a shot. From where I'm sitting, 3 does not go past the 6. But that was a potential run out for Gigi. She's a run out player. And she lost her cue ball. So with the ball in hand, you know, that's, yeah. I mean, especially this deep in the tournament, you know, you can't afford to make costly mistakes like that. So. was a great shot, actually. I would have hit it a touch softer just to leave her that middle diamond just to, you know, she has a shot now. This is center ball or slightly below center just to back and forth play. Yep. Again, I see two shots here. She could stop it, which would give her an angle to get from the 7 to the 8. Or roll it, shoot it in the side, but you'd have to put a ton of inside or come around 3 rails or something to get on the 8, and even then you wouldn't be on the right side of the 8, so actually like stopping it. Got it. She looks like she's putting top on it. She just left her a shot. I like the safety here. That's a pretty good shot, actually, considering where she was. Because this 8 ball only has one pocket to go into. So it's not, they can't just think about making that 7 ball. They gotta get on this bottom right quadrant of the table. So I would actually, if I'm, you know, I would definitely shoot this ball. That's me. I would shoot it into top right. Oh, she played safe. Bounce. She left a shot. And she did leave an angle to get on the 8 now. I know she wanted to get more in the middle of that rail. It just fell short. And it's because she dragged it. She put low on it and dragged it. So, again, I feel like maybe there wasn't a decision about which side of the pocket she wanted to be on. And now this is a really critical game for Kendra. This is the difference between 5-2 or 4-3. So I mean, that is the shot, and you draw it back. Right. Just got to hit this right. Don't overhit it. You don't want to end up on the rail or anything. Just want to draw back like 4 inches to shoot the 9 in the same pocket. Not sure why she's looking at it that way. You can draw it, you can cut it, hit this bottom rail, come back for the 9. But I'm not sure why she's looking at shooting the 9 that way. You don't want to touch the 9. For those of you tuning in, this is for 4th place. The winner plays Alice for 3rd place, and the loser is guaranteed 4th. So I believe this is Kendra's highest finish, so I think she's shooting the combo. Which, I think it's because she wasn't sure about her shape on the 9. I mean, with ball in hand, you could pretty much get perfect on that 8 ball to shoot it and get on the 9. So, but you know, it's everyone's preference, what they're comfortable with, what they see. That was her chance to tighten up the race. Hi, Jane. Are you from Southern California? This shot, which I honestly think Kendra is lucky to even be back at the table right now. I'm a little stunned that Gigi missed that shot. It's like, you know, she should make that ball every time, but Kendra has another life. All she has to do is make this ball. The shape is natural. She really just has to make this ball. Oh. They both had opportunities in that match, so now it's 5-2. Kendra's racing a 6 and Gigi's going to 7, so. And I'm going to mention again, these pockets are very forgiving. As long as you're rolling the ball in nicely and you're stroking pretty smoothly, the ball's going to go in. If you start jabbing at stuff or punching at it, the pockets don't like that and it will spit the ball back out. So, and just definitely didn't want to do that. So the 4 is the trickiest shot. She can still get on the 4. She just has to decide where she wants to be for the 4. It doesn't go on the side. I think that shot's too touchy. She wants to shoot it in the corner, the top corner. You know, it's a decent shot. She got another opportunity here. I actually like shooting it in the other side because you don't have to draw it. It's easier to control a follow or just drifting it up. But that's me. And some people default to just shooting it in the pocket that the object ball is closest to. But it's also about creating the angle that you need to get out. So, she just has to center ball. She's going to bounce off this bottom rail and get shape on the 9, no problem. But when you're under pressure like this, I mean, she hit that like a champ. She hit that like a champ. I'm really proud of her. Because when I'm shooting this, I'm thinking, okay, if I miss and I leave an opportunity, my opponent's on the hill. There is a lot of pressure here. And then how do you recover from that last game where she could have won twice? She had 2 opportunities to win that game, and she didn't. She hit that like a champ. So, this is tightening up the game. 5-3. Gigi needs 2, Kendra needs 3. thanks for tuning in. This is our last tour stop of the season. This is our 9th stop. We usually have our schedule available sometime in March or April, so we'll get that done soon. So you guys know what the next season's going to be like. We are a handicap tour. Our players voted for that, and this was our 3rd year of handicapping. For the most part, we've gotten a good response. Majority of our women, I want to say like 80% of our players prefer this handicap. But, the alternate break, we're still doing that.
Turn the, see the left one, the left black one? The left one. Match the volume. Yeah, it might be on already, actually. It is on. Can you hear me? Hi, Em.
I know it's going to sound like we're talking to ourselves, but I promise there are 2 people here. So, Elle and I have a pretty good time. It's pretty fun. So, and we know both of these women pretty well. So, I mean, it's exciting. Gigi's not a stranger to coming back on day 2. Kendra's been more consistent with coming back on day 2. So, I think she was talking to me earlier, and she said her goal is to win 1 match on the 2nd day, which it's good to start with small goals. So now that she's come back on day 2 more than a handful of times, her next goal was to win 1 match, and she's already won 2. So she won Hill against Heather, who's a contender. Heather's a 7. So, shot that kind of fast. I know that's her pace, but when that game's going to put you on the hill, I would take an extra second. No, she didn't really leave much for Kendra. But I almost feel like Kendra should bump this 9 ball out of the pocket. I mean, she definitely can hit it, but with ball in hand, if the way the balls are laying and where the 4 is tied up, it does not pass that pocket. I almost just wanted to bump it and then let Gigi deal with that, because she doesn't have any fouls. She's going to kick at it. This is touchy. You can easily hit the edge of the 4. Maybe go the other way. Oh, see, she missed it by a hair. Now with ball in hand. See, that's what I would do, because the 4 has no pocket. Oh. I think she jumped up a little. Now this whole rack has a bunch of clusters. No point in shooting this ball, because what you have nothing for the 4. I mean, you could play safe, but yep. Let your opponent take care of the clusters. I mean, this could be a very drawn-out safety battle, too. This is a 1-rail kick hit this bottom rail. Try to hit, if I'm standing where Kendra is, it would be the right side of the 4. Try to hit, to move that 4 ball toward the top rail, and then keep the cue ball where the 6 is. Or, you know, maybe even behind that 7-9 cluster. I'm just saying this because in theory, it would be beautiful if it worked out that way. And our minds will tell us like, hey, that could work. Maybe but I don't know. We'll see. I think most people, their focus is just to hit the ball. And again, what's going to save her is that 7-9, because it's really hard to get out here, even if she left a shot on the 4. She hit it and left a shot. It's still hard to get out here because they're stuck together. The 7 has no pocket. There's no combination. Someone's really got to break that cluster up. Actually, the 7 can go on that right side, but again, you have to get pretty perfect on it. So. I like going 2 rails. I always prefer that. She went, oh, you know, she's getting close to her kicks. She's just missing them by a hair. But if you're going to hit it that slow, it tends to widen out a little bit, so. She did save her, but this is I think she can, it's a pretty simple 1 rail kick. I can't tell how much the 9 ball's, how much it's hiding the 4. Okay, so now she's looking, I guess she's pretty safe. And this is tough because she's jacked up. But this safety hasn't addressed the cluster issue. Like, I almost want her to leave that cluster alone. And then it's easy to hit the right side of the 4 and scratch. So this is not my favorite shot, but it's definitely something I need to practice, and she can hardly see the top of that cue ball. Just based on where the bridge is and her cue, I already feel like she's going to hit it too wide. But the 2 rail kick could save her, but even then you don't want to scratch. But it's cue ball foul only, so even if she nudged the 9, as long as the cue ball doesn't come back, and see, she already tapped the 9 ball. So So Kendra's on 2. So I think she's looking at shooting the 5 and using that as her breakout shot. She has a pretty good angle here. But then it's tricky. She's got to get up. There you go. That was a good shot. This is tough getting on the 7. Thin slice. 7 in a tricky spot. So, yep, overcut it. Okay, so Kendra's got ball in hand. She's on 2. Make sure to chalk and don't scratch. That's pretty much what she's got to think about. So, and it's 5-3. Gigi's up 5. She's rated as a 7. Kendra's a 6. Scores 5-3 in Gigi's favor. For those of you just tuning in, we're at Draw Billiards in Berkeley, California, which is the town next to Oakland. This is a really nice area. The pool room's nice. Parking sucks, but it's really, we have our Bay Area Rapid Transit. It's a train. The station's a 2-minute walk. So it's, if you are, if you plan to travel that way, it's convenient. But yesterday was a pain for a lot of us because there were a bunch of 2-hour and 4-hour spots, and then you have to move your car. You can't add more time. They don't allow you to, so you have to move your car. What else? Yeah, I mean, we're close to UC Berkeley College. Tons of food options. I mean, we're supporting the room, of course, but lots of stuff to do here. I found a pie place, and I was really bummed because they closed early yesterday, so I'm going to try to go there today. But yeah, we like it here. And look at that. I see her kind of shaking her head. This is a shot. This is a shot. Like, again, I feel like it's natural shape on the 9 with the angle. She's going to get on the short side, but that's fine. She just has to focus on making this. Hit it with the right speed. Again, it's a thin shot. The table's rolling a little fast. Yep, she hit that great. Just don't scratch. Oh, that's amazing. Regardless of what happens in this match, again, like I said, this is Kendra's highest finish. It's for 4th place. I hope she thinks about all these great shots that she made in this match. Because like I said, Gigi's no stranger to getting in the finals or coming back on day 2. But I got to play Kendra today, and she, even being down against me, she made some really tough 9 balls. You want to talk about one of the players who has improved in the last few years. I've seen her focus really shift, and she's just getting stronger every year. So, and that's what I love about this tour. There's the camaraderie. We support each other. We also see each other just get better. So yes, it's fierce competition, but we also have some real friendships here. So if you've been curious about joining, come out and watch us. You don't have to play, but I mean, it is handicapped. So to give players more of a, I don't know, I've heard people say it kind of makes them feel like they're more into the match.
Omi. Omi. No, I'm trying to loosen up. I'm trying to loosen. I shouldn't have said anything. I shouldn't have said anything. But they can't. No, they would have asked after, and I would have told them anyway. No. I didn't. Yeah, I got it. I got it. Yeah. Hey, come here. No, so yeah. No, can I just tell you? When I asked you guys, think about what the score should be. No, no. But that's what I'm saying. I didn't want. I shouldn't have said anything.
No, this.
Hello, I'm back. Sorry, I was just taking a little break. So they caught the discrepancy, and Kendra wanted to be fair and honest about it, so she allowed Gigi to add that game that they missed earlier. So Gigi's on the hill because she's going to 7. Kendra is at 4. She's going to 6. So that last shot was rushed because, that's to win. I feel like she shot that 4 a little fast. Kendra's drawing probably going to pop off that rail and then shoot the 5 in the same pocket. Yeah, she hit that great. And I told her, I said, I really like your attitude. She said, if I'm going to win, I want to win fair. So that's a lot of integrity. Even if that does mean that her opponent's on the hill. But she needs 2, her opponent needs 1. It's a close match. Yep. And I think she just has enough to get on this, to see the 6. She's going to want to draw. Just put a little bit of low. Shoot the 7 in this bottom left corner. And that would make it a hill-hill match. When Kendra gets focused and she feels confident, she can get out here. The 8, I feel like she needs to shoot in the top left corner. So, but she's got to think about pocketing the ball and getting shape. So, which I feel like she's missed a couple shots because she was too worried about shape. So, but she looks really confident right now. She hit that great. A little bit straighter than she wanted to be. She needs to try to give herself get as straight and on the 8 as she can, but she needs some space to get on the 9. There you go. Hey, great shot. Excellent speed. She doesn't even need to draw this back a ton. She just wants to make sure she's not on the rail. A little bit of low. This is an exciting match, folks. Enjoying this one thoroughly. And Alice Liu, this is also her highest finish in this tournament, so I'm going to congratulate these ladies. Alice is waiting for the winner of this match, so. But I can see the energy is slowly depleting. This is very exhausting, the amount of mental energy. But I think she's shooting it in the side. Does it go on the side? Oh no. Wow. 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 So from where I'm sitting, she's shooting straight at me. So I'm not going to move a muscle. But this is a decent shot on the 9. It's also easy to leave the 9 ball there. So, oh, and she played safe. She hit that really hard. She hit that super hard.
I don't think she spent much time looking at it either. So that's the match. Thanks for tuning in. So next on the stream, it's going to be Gigi 7, Alice 6. That's for third place, but we're going to congratulate Kendra because this is her highest finish in like the 5 or 6 years that she's been playing on our tour. So, yeah. So another exciting match coming soon. Thank you for watching. And I think my sister's going to get back on the stream now, so.